I'm not sure that this gets me anything. So I'm not going to bother. In these two, it's definitely valuable because they all feed into the Caribbean. Can you see a tech map? If I can find it. Or did you mean institutions? Yeah, the reason that Mexico has been doing so badly is because they still don't have the institutions they require. Portuguese Australia. The Portuguese have arrived. Apparently, Madagascar. Brabant. You don't have exploration, do you? No. You have no port, so that'd be kind of useless. And as for institution map mode, lacking manufactories, lacking global trade and printing press, and feudalism. Oh dear. Oh dear. Lacking feudalism, renaissance, printing press, global trade, and manufactories. Wow, you are in for a world of hurt. Oh dear, oh dear. Lacking everything, including feudalism. Well, the Incas have got more technology than some of the North Americans. Ooh, and them. Oh, that's because of colony. I was going to say, Scandinavia doesn't even have feudalism. How is that possible? Answer? It's not. How are the knights so big? So this game started as me playing as Aragon, which is why Aragon is also so big. And I was basically using the Ottomans as a bank. I would declare trade wars on them, and then steal all their money, then declare another trade war on them, steal all their money. And because they were so weakened by these repeated wars, Venice declared war on them and fed the knights a bunch. And then after that, the knights started just feeding themselves. Because the knights in Venice were allied to each other. Just disconnected my phone and I need to charge it. Okay, so what's next? We've got decent control over these two now, and we're going to be feeding money in. And also, most importantly, the more trade control that we have over these nodes, we give a goods produce bonus. So the more goods that these guys produce, the better, because that means more trade value, which means more money flowing into Mexico and then to Caribbean, or straight to the Caribbean, as the case may be. Which is good. I will need to build forts. I will also need to build centers of... yeah, I need to upgrade your center of trade, which we can do on your cord. We'll also need to build trade depots. But other than that, I think we now need to go down to Panama. So there are a couple of centers of trade here, but the one I especially want is Panama proper. Which is a center of trade. I was going to say, I can't see the icon there, but it must be. Because that's also going to give me access to the Pacific and then to Lima. And its centers of trade. So the same thing. I just want to have these tiny little pirate havens just dotted around the world, getting that goods produced bonus without taking too much territory for myself. The other benefit of having lots of centers of trade is they give you a lot more naval force limit than usual. What's happened in Britain? Looks like there's some rebellions. No, it's not actually. This has happened because Britain was once a merchant republic. However, they've actually lost their republican traditions. They're now a dictatorship. But after Cromwell took power, they declared themselves a merchant republic, and because they had more than 20 provinces, they gave a bunch of people in Scotland and Wales independence. So, Britain basically collapsed because of greed. Hey, Fishy. First of all, though, I need to get my armies together again. And make sure we're coring everything. I'm fairly sure we are. Yup. Alright, so next up is going to be a war against New Valencia. Do you yourself have any proper centres of trade? No. We're going to have to be fighting against Castile and Colombia. And that's a fairly large nation, so we definitely want to take over the Panama Canal for that one. We're also going to want some more merchant ships, trade ships. Force limit's currently 32. I'm fairly happy with a 32 stack, so I think what we're going to do is build up the number of trade ships, sorry, transport ships, where we can transport this whole lot at once. 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32. So the next war is probably going to embark from Jamaica, I would say. Oh, and we can finish off offensive ideas. Only 2 years away from the next tech level. I think I want to wait until the next tech level, then we'll do that. And we should also move the warships down here. I wish Port Royal was a more distinct colour. Yeah, I kind of do too. That is another world trade. Let's turn Zui into world trade. 75. Actually, considering how big you are, yeah, 75 is decent. And that gives me 53% control from the 221 trade power from the provinces. Now, Caribas does also have a lot. And they're also giving Aragon and Portugal a bunch of trade power, which is why we struggle to hold on to the Caribbean itself. Oi Mord, what's the best kind of flagship in your opinion? I mean, the one that I always use, and it's a bit of a weird one, is transport. So my flagship right now has +1 fleet blockade from sieges. Sorry, +1 fleet blockade on sieges. Hull sheathing, which just increases its durability, so it's less likely to be sunk, and then the integrated marines, which reduces the movement speed on and off of ships, so you can basically hit and run a lot better. I use a galley because it's really cheap maintenance, and galleys fight better than light ships. So galleys are just cheap. Light ships, if you want your light ship to be protecting trade and contributing to that trade without slowing it down, and then a heavy ship if you want it to be like a fighting frontline warship. And the galleys outperform my light ships because... Actually, at the moment, it would be better to be a light ship because the combat ability is higher. But that's because that's boosted by 20% because of one of my missions, which is going to disappear in about 15 years. But the Quebec plus 25% is from a naval idea, so that's permanent. So the galleys just fight more better. People are disappearing. Since we've made it easier for the peasants to move around in search of better farming opportunities, it has, unfortunately, been more difficult to track them down when the army needs recruits. Oh, that's manpower, not sailors. Oh, that's fine. We have imperialism against the city of Detroit. Oh, don't tell me Detroit's gone bankrupt again. How the hell did that happen? It's a trading city. Belonging to who? Britain. Wait. Britain is still a merchant republic. You were a dictatorship when I just checked. Nope, it's plutocracy again. So they boosted their republican tradition sufficiently that the presidential dictatorship did not become permanent and they did not become a monarchy. Well done, Britain. Galleys also slow down the transport tree. Not true. Galleys actually move the same speed. Galley speed 8. Transport ship speed 5. Galleys are actually quicker. But galleys would slow down a trade fleet. Need your opinion. Do I think a country can come back from having every province at 100% devastation? Yes. Especially if you have forts. I mean, that's basically what I did to Ming, and Ming bounced back. However, if they don't have forts, and this has been a pretty good change, then it struggles. And also in the peace deal, your revanchism will reduce devastation. Or increase devastation recovery. So my war with Portuguese Mexico, for example, they will have a little bit of devastation here. And changes monthly due to control, minus 0.08. And then next to where their fort is, devastation increases by 0.13 because of the friendly forts. And if they had revanchism because of the peace deal, my peace deals, I'm actually somewhat surprised that they don't have a bonus from. There we go. Revanchism plus 0.0. Who would have a high revanchism? Castile, maybe? No, that war was too long ago. But yeah, revanchism, so dependent on the war score, the higher the war score value of the peace deal, the more revanchism, the faster they'll recover their devastation. But yeah, it's possible. And also the more forts they have, the faster they'll recover. If they don't have the forts, the recovery is pretty slow. But that 0.08, even just from control, is per month. There are two kinds of ship speed in EU, combat speed and sailing speed. I'm actually moving from sea zone to sea zone. Galleys are the slow ships. Well, it would be nice if it said that somewhere. Are you sure you didn't just have some heavies in your galley fleet? Because heavies are freaking slow, and they're the same speed as transports. Galleys are quick, speed 8. I'm not sure I'm gonna look it up. I'm not sure I believe that. E4. Wiki. Ship travel speed? Naval units. Speed values refer to the tactical movement speed in battle. Oh yeah, right. Interesting. Strategic speed 4. Wow, that's really slow. It's half. And heavies still move the same speed as a transport. I mean, the downside to the heavy is they are really expensive, so maybe you should make a light ship your flagship instead of a galley. Okay. Didn't know that. Wow, that's the thing I've learned in EU4. I mean, there does seem to be like one thing a week at the moment. But that is another thing. Taktorbic, thank you very much for the follow. Welcome to the channel. The Ottomans don't have forts and lost Istanbul to Moldavia. Well, if they lost Istanbul, that already is going to be a high war score, so the revanchism is going to reduce their devastation pretty quickly. But if they don't have any forts, then after the revanchism goes, then yes, it will be slow. But I do feel like devastation recovers too quickly generally. Anyway, like that 60-year war against Ming, they recovered in about 3 years. It was kind of ridiculous. But they definitely seem to have slowed it down a lot already. What's the nation in Haiti at the moment? That's Tortuga. It's my vassal. Another pirate. Although they're not actually pirates at the moment. They are still presidential dictators. So if their republican tradition ever recovers, then they might become a pirate republic again, but right now they're not. But New Providence are still pirates, as am I. Anyway, I think that is going to be the end of this stream. I need to go and get something to eat before the Warhammer one starts. Warhammer's going to start in an hour. I'm not going to be doing the dwarves, just an FYI. Dwarves are continuing. Don't panic. Dwarves will be continuing. I just feel like doing something else, and that's probably going to be Skaven, just because I'm a little bit curious about how they play. Or the Orcs. Skaven or the Orcs, I can be persuaded. If you want to get involved with that persuasion, then head over to my Discord, which you can find at this link here. I'll be checking that in the interim. It's also where the community hangs out, so if you want to come along, say hello, please do so. You are more than welcome. I do have a YouTube channel where this series of Aragon, sorry, Port Royal is going to be uploaded. It's currently uploading Aragon, which is the precursor to this. So everything that happened in the Aragon game just continued into this. It's the same world, the same universe, just continuing from a different flag because it was cool. Bit dump, see you more. Thank you very much for that, Bacon. That's ridiculous. You're so kind. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And Morty Slayer, thank you very much for the follow. Welcome to the channel. So yeah, Warhammer is going to be next. Depending on how that Warhammer stream goes, will depend on a couple of, or will determine a couple of things. So stay tuned to the Discord because there will be some announcements there. Potentially, depending on how this stream does. I don't know where the next EU4 stream is going to be. Stay tuned to find out. Like I said, things might be happening in the background here, so we shall need to see. Thank you everyone for watching. I will catch you guys next time. Goodbye. Right, where's Black Flag? I want to hear songs about Black Flags. Miracle of Sound. Sort by albums. And the 4th album. There it is. See ya.